This is Dudley Harris speaking. We're going to fire kiln number 2 today. The first thing that I do is to make snakes, and these are the snakes. This is just extruded clay mixed with grog and alumina, and I'm going to use these to form a barrier to the flame, and you'll see what I mean in just a few minutes. This is the inside of the kiln, and you'll notice that the bricks that are going to hold the first shelf have been stacked to form, or set to form, a solid line. You don't want the flame to escape between those bricks. And the next thing I'm going to do is lay a snake on top of those bricks so that even the small space between the shelf and the bricks is completely blocked to the flame. You want the flame to have to go out the front of the kiln, so it passes all the way through the ware. Now you can see that I put snakes on the tops of each of the bricks and a pad or a clay wad on top of the other bricks. I use a total of 6 stilts per shelf. It's now 7 o'clock the next morning. I've had 4 of 6 pilots burning all night long. As you can see, I have the kiln rigged with an oxy probe, and when I checked the kiln this morning at 7 o'clock with 4 pilots being lighted all night long, I'll show you on the graph here, we can see that. The temperature is under boiling, under 212 degrees. It's approximately 200 degrees. Now it's 7:30, and I'm going to light the first burner. It's now 8 o'clock. It's been 30 minutes since I lighted the first burner and set it on low. So now we're going to check the temperature. And it reads 1.3, so let's see what that is. 1.3, 8 o'clock. So that is 360 degrees. So with one burner on low, it's raised the kiln 300 degrees an hour. Okay, it's 8:30. It's 1 hour after I lighted the first burner. There are 3 burners on low. The kiln is climbing at 300 degrees an hour. So I'm going to leave the 3 burners on low until that graph starts to taper off a little bit before I need to light another burner. Okay, it's 9 o'clock, and the kiln is starting to slow down a little bit, or taper a little bit. So it's not rising at 300 degrees an hour, but only 3 burners are on low, so I'm going to light the rest of the burners at this time. It's now 9:30. All 6 burners have been on for 30 minutes, and the kiln is climbing at a little better than 300 degrees an hour. So I'm going to leave all burners on low until it starts to slow down. It's now 10:30. 6 burners are on low, and that last dot at the end of the curve there, you can see, is slightly slowing down. So I'm going to increase all the burners to medium. All burners are on medium, and the rise in temperature is a little better than 300 degrees an hour, so right where we want to be. Now 2 o'clock, the kiln has been climbing at just under 300 degrees an hour, and it's now about 1620, and it's time to start reduction. In order to set the kiln in reduction, the first thing I did was to slightly close the primary air valve. Then I turned the gas up to a reading of 4. And now I'm going to watch the oxyprobe and see how much I need to close the damper. Okay, the oxyprobe is reading some reduction perhaps, but it's fluctuating a great deal. When it showed a 0.3, that's about neutral. We wanted to read about 0.5. There was a 0.4, but it's not consistent. So now I'm going to close the damper a little bit. Okay, I closed the damper about 1 inch, and you'll notice that there is a lot of KO wool packing there. It is critically important to close up the air holes around the damper. If air gets in here, then it acts like a super damper, and it is very inefficient. Okay, so closing the damper approximately 1 inch put the kiln into very nice reduction. So 0.6 is good reduction, and so we're exactly where we want to be. So we can just leave it here probably for the rest of the firing. It's now 4:30. The temperature is about 2,000 degrees, and you can see the curve has started to flatten out, but it's still climbing. This is typical for this temperature, and it's now reading 12.1. It has to go to 13.2 in order to be finished. It's now 7:45 in the evening, and that's the top burner, top spy hole, and bottom spy hole. So I have maybe a little too much back pressure, but I'm reading 0.7 on the oxyprobe, so I know my reduction is about right. However, my temperature has slowed down, so I'm only at 12.8, and you can see how flattened out the curve is becoming. So I have a choice. I can open the damper a little bit to try to improve the heat flow through the kiln, because I may be in too much reduction, or I can increase the gas to try to make it heat faster, but my gas is already high enough, and so I'm going to just let it sit because I just checked, and cone 10 is starting to bend on the lower part of the kiln. So I think we're actually doing okay. Okay, I walked around behind the kiln and I checked the damper, and I see that there is a lot of heat loss, or a lot of air. There's a lot of air space in the damper, so that causes over dampering. So I'm going to plug up those holes, and I think that will probably help the kiln move along. Okay, the only thing I did was to plug up the holes in the damper, and I think you can see that the back pressure is significantly less in the top spy hole, and in the bottom spy hole it is also, there's much less back pressure, I believe. It's now 8:15 and cone 10 is down. That is the peephole at the top. If we look at the graph here, we can see that that plugging up the damper hole made a difference. I don't know if you can exactly see that, but right at the very end there, that the line went up rather smartly, and that's because I plugged up a damper hole that was getting excessive dampering by having that hole there. So 8:15, kiln number 2 is finished.